All right. Okay, so we have Aves, no audio, and Satvik. Both of them are saying no audio. All right, the audio is there. Okay, understood. So last week what happened in Nifty was a very important psychological level of 18,000 was breached. So this week we expected some good moves, but we had analyzed that Nifty has some solid resistances. I can show you in the chart if you ask me to do. Okay, thanks a lot Satvik for letting us know that audio is fine now. So if you can see my chart, let me know. All right. So over here, last week Friday, all right, Friday, yeah. So Friday we had a decent close, but 18,000 levels were breached. This week, more or less, we had a consolidated move in Nifty, although this consolidation was full of events. There was a big gap down. The 18,000 levels, which is a very solid support, all right. It was a support last week. It continues to be a support this week. They were respected really well, all right. And after this gap down, the market Nifty index managed to close above 18,000 levels. It closed at 18,028. So 18,000 psychological level as well as technical level 2 remains to be a very, very important support as long as Nifty is trading above 18,000 levels. Nifty is bullish, all right. So this is one thing. Now I'll just move to the weekly chart. On the weekly chart, if you see over here, there's a long wick candle, all right. This long wick is because of the gap down and gap up. Today market gapped up because of the world markets. And although Nifty has breached this resistance, I had told you last week that if Nifty had to break this resistance with conviction, it has to be a very solid move, and that came with a gap up today, all right. But still there are the Nifty has this resistance 18,400 levels to deal with, and after that Nifty has around 18,600 levels to deal with. So it's not a free zone for Nifty. We need to wait and watch technically for Nifty to break these levels and sustain above these levels. So Monday is going to be a very important trading session, all right. So right now, if you ask me technically, I'll say that there are certain hurdles remaining for Nifty to deal with, okay. Now if I show you, I always keep an eye on the ATR. All right. So ATR this week has not expanded. The range has not expanded. So there is room for Nifty to expand. All right. So we can have a good move in Nifty. But right now, as on now, Friday, technically it's a little dicey. But let us go and check out what derivative data has to say. How many of you, Aves, Satvik, Mahesh, everybody, follow the option chain analysis and do derivative analysis? Anybody? You need to let me know, okay, if you do it. And what are the levels according to you if you do derivative analysis? Okay, Mr. Krishna Rao also says no audio. I believe there's some problem with some of the users, because most of the users are able to hear the audio, okay. So all right. So if you see the option chain over here, I'll just zoom in the option chain, all right. On the put side, 18,300 has the maximum change in open interest. Do you see this? 18,300. This is the weekly contract of Nifty, okay. But if you move if you move to the call side over here and you check out change in open interest, this column, the second column from left, there is no big strike where you see a very huge change in open interest. All the open interest is good over here at 18,500 and 19,000, but there is no new addition of contracts like that happened in the puts. So the call writers as of now on Friday don't know which level on Nifty will actually act as a resistance. So from derivative point of view, we can say that Nifty is bullish, all right. But technically, the Monday session is going to be very important. Also, the PCR of Nifty weekly and monthly is above 1, all right. And when the day started today, the put call ratio was around 0.9 levels on Nifty weekly and the day ended with 1.05. So the PCR increased. On Monday, we need to see whether PCR is increasing or not, so that we can be very sure, or we can never be very sure in the market. We can be sure, decently, moderately sure that the week is going to be bullish. It is going to be in line with what the derivative data suggests. Understood? Did you guys understand what I was trying to suggest? Okay. The option chain analysis is always very interesting. Now, let's have a look at Bank Nifty. So, in the last week, what we were discussing was that there is a huge supply zone over here. Do you see my charts? There is a huge supply zone in Bank Nifty over here at around 14,800, 900 levels. All right. 2 weeks, Bank Nifty couldn't break the resistance. All right. For 2 weeks, Bank Nifty grappled to break that zone. But this week, Bank Nifty has broken that level. Although, again, when you come down to the daily chart, today's move was not very convincing, and it was not supposed to be convincing, because when such a huge gap happens, the market normally doesn't give a follow through. All right. It was a very big gap. After such a big gap, normally the market consolidates. So if I show you the intraday chart, that's what these candles suggest. After the big gap, market consolidated. We have to see, wait and watch what happens on Monday. All right, Monday opening, Monday session is very important. You need to watch the PCR levels of Bank Nifty as well. Now let's go and check out what the derivative data for Bank Nifty says. So I'll go to the option chain and I'm going to choose Bank Nifty over here. One very good habit of analyzing the market is you need to, make sure that your technical analysis is supported by your derivative analysis. If that happens, the view is very clear. Right now, the derivative data is saying that the market is bullish, but technically there is some dicey picture. So Monday session is important. Now, in the option chain, okay. In the option chain, if you will see over here, the change in OI is huge at 42,000 on the put side. But if you have a look on the call side, you won't find any new addition of contracts. All right. So again, the picture says that even in Bank Nifty, the call writers are not sure which strike is the safe strike for them to write option contracts. All right, on Bank Nifty. So here also the market is bullish. This is what derivative data is suggesting. Again, be cautious on Monday. All right. So this is done. Have you guys understood the analysis right now? So we are at LearnApp, so we need to learn also along with doing the analysis. It's not only, one way telling what I feel. It's not that. We need to understand also, okay, that what is happening so that you also can do your analysis. So let me know in the comment section if you are following what I'm saying, okay. Whiskey, nice name, Whiskey. You guys have interesting name. It's a Friday evening. Your name is very tempting. All right. So let's move ahead and check out the sectors. So if you can suggest, anybody of you, which sector which we had picked up last week. For 2 weeks we had picked up the same sector. Yes, it was Nifty metal sector. All right. So we had picked it up over here at 5,800 levels. I'm not saying, see, I told you so, but this is a good sector. Over here, it has broken out above this swing high. All right. So this continues to be a good sector. There's some range contraction over here. There's some space left on the RSI to go up, and on technical levels also it can go up to around 600, 800 levels. So it is good till this resistance. You can keep the metal sector in your watch list, and the other sector which is very interesting is the IT sector. All right. So you see that IT sector performed very well this week. Technically at these levels the IT sector had given divergence. It was a nice support at this accumulation zone or demand zone, and this has led the IT sector to reach these levels, which is a swing high, all right, a resistance, which is a very solid resistance. So I would say that once the IT sector closes above these levels, 30,400, 500 levels, this is the sector which can lead the next rally of Nifty. And Vasant Joshi will be able to tell you better that, you know, I'm not sure that, US markets are performing well now, they have recovered. So that will also probably help IT sector, although as technical analyst, I keep myself away from such kind of analysis. All right. Now, this is done. And let's have a look at the world markets. Very interesting times for world markets. From last around 5 weeks now, we've been suggested that world markets, all the indices are at a very, very important support level. And if these support levels sustain, we can have a global recovery. Otherwise, we can have a multi-legged correction. Now, you only see the charts and analyze what the world markets are behaving, how the world markets are behaving. So over here, this is a demand zone, not a very great demand zone, but yes, a demand zone, and NASDAQ has been consolidating in this zone. If you see the weekly chart, this support level is not yet broken, all right, and there's a way to analyze divergence. We do it a lot in our workshops too on LearnApp. So if you see over here, there's a support. Okay, this is a nice support line, and this is price is making lower low, and your RSI is making higher low. So this is a nice bullish divergence, which is suggesting, not a surety, suggesting that the market can reverse from here. I show you DJI now. All right, DJI had a same formation a few weeks back, and it worked. Now it has reached a swing high over here. Now it can take some pause over here because it has reached a swing high, and once this swing high is breached, we can see a multi-legged rally, or it can come down back to these levels. So these are the levels which are very critical for DJI, although the divergence, the support, everything worked out very well for DJI. Let's look at UK 100, the best of the lot, and even in the FTSE, you see FTSE has taken support at the multi-level support, which it has always taken support at. So it has preceded all these, both these indices have preceded NASDAQ, and now this is a supply zone. All right, so we'll have to wait and watch on FTSE whether, you know, there's a big move, break of the resistance and a multi-legged rally, or they come back to the same support zone. All right, so Monday session is very important actually. So this is what I had: derivatives, indices, sector, and the foreign markets. All right, now if you say I'll look at one stock, anybody who will suggest me one stock, and then I'll call Vasant bhai and he'll take the fundamental analysis forward. Anybody? Any stock do you suggest? No one? Okay, let me see. Somebody is suggesting Wipro over here. Wipro is IT, so Wipro is doing, Wipro must be doing well. All right. All right, nice, interesting stock. Wipro is at a very decent support level over here. Keep an eye on it. Once Wipro goes above this this level, 14,017 to 14,019 levels, it will be a good level to get into Wipro. All right, so Wipro, yeah, this level. This is a very interesting level for Wipro. It is taking support over here, gapped up today, which is obvious. It has to go above this swing high, all right, 1416 to 1419 levels. This is Wipro for you. Now, Vasant Joshi will take over and give you some extensive fundamental analysis.
I think the audio is back. So let me know again in the comment section. So give me a yes or a hi in the audio. I think the audio is fixed now. So audio should be there. Sorry for that technical glitch. So I think now the audio should be okay. So by the time you give me a yes or a no in the chat, I'll just prepare myself here quickly. Yeah, audio is fixed now. Perfect. So yeah, fixed, done. So I basically have 3 to 4 talking points for today. So just to make it easier for me and for you guys, I'll write the topic on, or my talking points on the top cap. So let's just go to the top cap. Yeah. So point number 1 that I want to talk about is US inflation, or inflation in general. Point number 2 that I want to talk about is the Indian macro numbers, specifically the employment data. So I'll write it as employee data. This is the second talking point. Then I also want to talk about the volatility in the market right now, which we will look through India VIX, of course. This, and finally, I think everyone will be excited for this last point. We will talk about what happened to the HDFC twins today. Why are the HDFC twins in action? Both are up, both are looking very, very bullish. So what's happening with the HDFC twins? So these are my 4 talking points for today. Of course, it being a macroeconomic kind of lesson or being a fundamental kind of a lesson, there is a whole host of things that we can actually cover. So if you want something specifically, you can let me know in the chat as well. I will answer it specifically to your doubt. But apart from that, I think these are the 4 talking points for today. That's very important. So let's start with the first point, and let's shift back to the main camera. So going back to the main camera, well, US inflation numbers were expected to come around 7.5% or above. But it came below 7.5%, and that is what sent the US markets into a frenzy last night. So if you observe US markets, you would have seen Nasdaq, Dow Jones, all of these US indices were up more than 5% in just one single day. So that is what has pushed all the markets to go and start looking at economy again. Now, to understand why this is happening, you have to understand that the markets discount everything. What this simply means is that जो बड़ा पैसा market में आता है, the maximum amount of money that comes in the market comes by looking at the future. They are not going to look at past में कितना return rates will go up only for the next 8 to 10 months or so. उसके बाद सब control में आ जाएगा and that interest rate cycle might stop. So looking at that future, looking at 1 year from now, well, people start to buy stocks. The big money starts to enter. So that might be happening, but you can't tell in a single day, right? You will have to wait and watch for at least 1 quarter or 2 more quarters, that is till the next financial year, to really get to know if this is working out. So that's the talking point number 1. Inflation seems to be going under control, but the thing is that we have to still wait and watch. It's not completely under control. We can't cut loose just yet. And governments, I think, know that. So overall, this seems like a good direction to go in. That is what all the investors and traders are kind of trying to signal through the markets we saw today. So that is the talking point number 1. The talking point number 2 is about the Indian macroeconomic data that is coming out. So I think the Indian GDP data and the Indian inflation numbers will come out in maybe 1 or 2 more days. But the Indian employment data has come out. Now, a lot of people say that these numbers are not believable, these numbers are not accurate. That's fine. We will not go, looking at it accurately. The data says that around 8.5 million jobs were added last quarter, which basically brings us back to the pre-pandemic levels of employment. So unemployment गिर गया है and we have come back to the pre-pandemic levels. Now, even if this is not very accurate, let's say this is not 8 million, let's say it is 6 million, 2 million extra add किया है, it still is a very, very good sign. This means that the businesses are now expanding again. Now, if they have to expand, they will need capital. So they are now getting either loans from the bank or money from VCs again. So that is a good thing to happen. People are now consuming more and more. So all this is leading to employment increase. Now, if employment is increasing and inflation is coming under control, well, that gives a good scenario for the future, doesn't it? So that is what is happening with India as well. But keep an eye out for the Indian inflation numbers as well. They'll be out very, very soon, maybe in a day or so. So you guys can check out what those numbers are. The expectations are that the Indian numbers will come down below 7%, about 6.5% or so. If it's higher than that, then people might be little negative towards the market. But if it comes out at estimates or below, there could be another day where we could see the markets rally again in just one single day. Now, with that, well, these are the positive points or things that are letting the market go up and letting everyone be bullish. But there is one negative point that we need to talk about, and that is India VIX. So I'll open up India VIX on my screen. Yeah. So I hope you guys can see my screen. Perfect. So on my screen, we have the India VIX chart. And it's the daily chart of the India VIX. And what I want to really show you is that if you take a look at these 14, 15 odd levels, you can see that the VIX itself, the volatility index itself, is not very sustainable at these levels. So basically, how the market works in the short term is that it has a mean correcting kind of a persona. It has a mean reversion characteristic that we all know, right? So looking at the volatility, well, you could expect some volatility expansion to happen. And generally, if you have been in the market for some time, volatility mostly expands when the market falls. It doesn't really expand too much when the markets hit newer and newer highs. So if the volatility expansion has to happen, that means the markets have to fall a little bit from here. But do not panic. That's just how the market itself works. That's a fundamental characteristic of the markets itself. You can't expect it to just keep going in one direction all the time. So you can expect the market to maybe fall a little bit during the next week or the week after that. It is just for that mean correcting character of the market, because of which the volatility could come up to sustainable levels. Right now, India VIX at 14, India VIX at 15, it's not really sustainable for a long time. And our option seller friends also will be very sad right now because premiums are very low, so they are not able to make a lot of profit. That might also change in the next 2 or 3 weeks. So keep your eye out for the India VIX and volatility numbers as well. Now, apart from this, well, the last point is, I know, the most awaited point कि HDFC के साथ क्या हो रहा है. HDFC बैंक भी ऊपर है, HDFC भी ऊपर है, दोनों ऊपर है, एंड इतना ऊपर है जो 2 साल में वो लोग ने रिटर्न नहीं दिया, उससे ज़्यादा रिटर्न दिया एक दिन में. So ऐसा क्या हो रहा है HDFC के साथ? But before talking about what is happening with the HDFC twins, I have one particular tool to share with you guys. And this tool is made by the product team at LearnApp. And this is a tool that will help you filter and sort out through all the different workshops that we have. Now, by today, I'm proud to say that we have more than 250 plus workshops taken by whole hosts of different mentors. There are workshops by Sharma sir, there are workshops by my colleague Mayank, and there are some crypto related workshops as well. So whatever are the workshops, you can now go to this link that will come in the chat. So there's a link that's about to come. Yeah, so the link is there. You can click on that link, and on that link, you will see it leads you to a tool that lets you sort and filter through all different kinds of workshops so that you can choose and select which particular workshop that you want to watch. Now, there are workshops on so many different topics. I want all of you guys to just go explore and see if you guys like any topic and if you guys want to watch that workshop. So I'll just quickly open up that link on my screen as well. I'll share my screen. Yeah, perfect. So you can see here, all the workshops are here, and you have different filters according to date, according to category, according to mentors, language, the level of workshop that you want, a basic one or an advanced strategy one, whatever it is, or even the time to complete. You have shorter workshops, less than 40 minutes. You have the longer ones that go almost up to 2 hours, that is 100 minutes or so. So you can sort and you can filter all different sorts of workshops directly from here. So this is a tool that we are testing out with different people. Do let us know your feedback on the tool also on the comment section of this particular video so that we can know what to do with this tool, what to, make it better or remove something to make it better. I don't know. So you guys can let me know what to do with this tool. And once it is perfected, we will add this to the website as well. So it will soon come on the website. But before that, I just want all of you guys to use it as roughly as possible. Use it however you feel like, and do let us know how you found, how good you found this feature. Is it really useful or is it just a small feature? Let us know all that in the comments. So with this, well, I'll go back to HDFC twins. So we don't need the screen anymore. So HDFC के साथ क्या हुआ? Well, nothing very big has happened. It's a very, very simple thing that's happened with HDFC twins. There is an index called the MSCI index or the MSCI India index. Now, this index, like Nifty or Sensex, is a big index that tracks and invests into the biggest companies in the market, that is the large caps. And this particular index is deciding on increasing the HDFC twins weightage in the index. So currently their weightage together, that is the bank and HDFC, their combined weightage is about 5.5% in that index. From 5.5%, they might increase it to over 13% in their index itself, giving it a nifty sort of a weightage when you compare these two indices. So that increase in the weightage means that they will have to buy more HDFC Bank and HDFC both. So that is something that has triggered the big rise in both the bank and the HDFC itself. So that is why the twins are really up. You guys can go Google out that news. You guys can go read about it more, why they are doing it, what's their motivation behind increasing the weightage, what's happening there. You guys can go check that out on Google itself. So with this, well, I think my talking points are over for today. I think these were something that are, important for this week and the coming week. But apart from this, if you guys have any question related to any other macroeconomic parameters, or you guys want to see some particular stock results, or you want to take a look at some industries or sectors, you guys can let me know in the comments, and you can let me know in the chat right now as well. And I will solve all your doubts here. So you guys can let me know if you want some, want to analyze some other aspect of the economy as well. So with this, well, I think I have just one last interesting thing to throw at you. I'll just open up the chart again. I think I closed the chart. Just one last thing. By the time I do it, you guys, if you have any questions, you can let me know in the chat. Till then, I'll just open this up. Yeah. So something that I wanted to show is now on the screen. So I'll remove all the indicators. Well, this chart that you see on the screen is the Nifty PSU Bank Index. Now, this is an index that does not do well and has received a lot of criticism in the past. But if you take a look at what's happening since last 2 or 3 weeks, well, take a look at this. This is what is happening. And this seems like a very good place to be right now. Well, this is not a recommendation to buy. This is just an interesting thing to look at. This is the weekly chart, and you can see week on week, every single week, the Nifty PSU Bank Index is doing very well. So if you guys are interested in learning about what's happening with banks, how are banks changing, all of those things, well, we can do a workshop on that. So let us know about that in the comments as well. This is something that I thought was just a very interesting but very small, so I just kept it for the end as well. So with this, well, I'll take the chart away. So let's take the chart away. Let's come on to the main camera. Yeah. So with this, we have reached the end of today's live session. And with this, well, all of you guys, let us know in the comments, what do you like about the live session that we do? And what do you dislike? Let us know both of them, and we will try to make it more better. We will try to optimize it just the way you guys like it. And apart from that, well, you have any doubts, you have any queries about anything in the markets generally, you can let us know that as well. So with this, well, take care guys. I will meet you again, and Sharma sir will meet you again next week. Bye-bye.